river, drives around in the RV. It's a dolphin brand. It's not like the shape of a dolphin or anything. It's kind of like, they call them, some of them, like the Warriors, and it literally is not a Warrior, it's just an RV. Okay, so I saw him earlier today, and I made sure I turned the opposite way and made my way to somewhere where he wasn't going to find me. And basically just minded my business for a few hours. That fella with the dogs, he was here pretty late, but it looks like he headed out. He's got a school bus, and he's trying to replace the alternator. Well, at least it's a semi-warm night for right now. Hurricane? Here? Oh, cool. That would be fun to play with in the fog. 30? 130? Well, I don't have a pilot's license, but that lifts my car right off the road. I think I'm going to have to look that up in just a minute. I'm going to go find some snipes before the weather soaks them in that case. I'll be with that tobacco for a week. Alright, well that don't fall up there. Alright, what else? Pretty much any chunk of metal. Anything that goes through a tire. Sometimes I pick up stuff that's like, big clunky garbage. It makes look like it might. Right. But usually it's just stuff I'm worried about going through my tire or somebody else's. Of course, cigarette butts. Most of them I'll twist the tobacco out of them and re-roll them. I'm actually not gonna walk all the way up there to where his vehicle is, because it's a long friggin' walk. I walked back and forth between my car and Safeway a few times today to make sure that I stayed hydrated. All this heat wave stuff that we've been having, and now there's a hurricane on the way. Nebraska, there's some folks that moved there from California. They heard one tornado alarm and were gone. I knew some people from Nebraska moved to California, lived through One earthquake, and they were fucking gone. Guess it depends on what you're used to. I survived Hurricane Matthew. I even helped clean it up with a fucked up back. Won't be my first hurricane. If there was a tornado here, it wouldn't be my first tornado. If there was an earthquake here, it wouldn't be my first earthquake. Just saying, you know. Oh, rolling paper. Very nice. That is a rare trick indeed. Alright, I'm gonna walk my happy ass back to my car. And, oh, that guy Mike, he just walked by. His mom was one who works at the library. Sorry, that guy was honking, so I figured I'd apologies exist. Look up and see what it is he was honking about. It didn't appear to be honking at me. Zane and a lady who I think works at CARE, but don't quote me on that. I meet a lot of people, and well, it's hard to remember where every single one of them I saw. If I met less people in the average month, or I'd been here long enough to be more familiar with them, or there hadn't been issues at each of those places that presented safety issues, so I didn't go back, or whatever the reasons are. I don't get to interact with a lot of people on a full level, if you know what I'm saying. The Jepsons, I know all the Jepsons. I've interacted with them for a lot of years, but obviously this ain't Chapel, Nebraska. If there are Jepsons here, it's a different family. They don't know each other, you know. So for me, there's no familiarity, which is one of the most important things for anyone. But if you have autism or PTSD, it's especially important for you. Anyway, Zane and that lady brought me some water. There was some youngins. They went to talk to the gentleman with the dog. Right, is that metal? Yep. Let me go through a tire. I suppose I could say that's all for selfish reasons that I pick up metal objects off of the road. I don't want that shit going through my tire because I can't afford a new one. Anyway, those folks who lost their wallet, they didn't really lose it. They walked away from it to go talk to the fella with the dogs. And of course, you know, I've done that before. So I yelled at them, hey, your wallet. They all looked at me funny. The guy with the ukulele let him know that I was yelling at them because they left their wallet. And the young lady ran over and she was all saying thank you, and she picked up her wallet, and I said, it's alright, I already took all the money and ID out of it, you can have the rest. She thought it was hilarious. She said, it's alright, there's no money in it. Anyway, a lot of people don't fully understand the situation that I'm in, or how much hell I have to go through, or why. There's a lot of people who are really nice. And you know what? I admit that they're really nice, because they are. But nice doesn't stop abuse. That includes systemic abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, and I've had to deal with all of those. I've had to deal with neglect, social isolation, social deprivation. Y'all don't understand how fucked up it is. Those of you who have had to go through it on a small level, let me tell you something. A lot of people claim to know what I'm going through, but you know what? They don't. They absolutely don't. Most of the people that I know that are walking free, they're walking free for a reason. They've never been accused of doing no fucked up shit like that. Natalie Bollinger and her friends and family were playing fucked up head games, and it wasn't okay. And a lot of people after the fact, you know what, they may have had good intentions, but they didn't have any fucking follow through. And there's a lot of them that may have had good intentions, but knew so little about the situation that their good intentions, including killing the person they thought was the bad guy. Well, you ain't killed me yet. You just made a bunch of fucking loudmouth threats. I'm gonna have to start up my car. I usually make a pit stop by the Lillian A. Goodspeed Park to go to the bathroom. I do apologize if you've ever had to listen to that. I do kind of feel weary going to the bathrooms here because of the number of addicts that I know that sleep there and the number of addicts that I know that don't sleep there because they're not sleeping. I talked to, well, one of the most roughest, gruffest looking fellers ever. There's a guy named Matt, and he's actually a real nice feller. He used to be a cop in Arizona, I believe. He decided he didn't want that life. Now, what we gotta do is fix this shit ourselves, right? Isn't that what we're always told? Well, it don't work that way. The reason people on the street are easy to railroad is because most of the time they're on their own. A lot of people will like you out here, but they know the reality of the situation is that anybody could stab you in the back for any desperate goddamn reason. And I do mean desperate. Sometimes somebody finds out their grandma's about to die, and you know you may have been friends for 10 years, but that's grandma. So yeah, maybe he steals your $800 disability money, you know? Well, that's a police car actually right there. It did have red and blue lights on for a second. Now it's red and yellow lights from the back. How strange. There's another one around here somewhere. I don't know. Turned off their alarm. They must have gotten where they're going. Oh, maybe not. Well, that's a fire truck. And apparently there's a hurricane on the way, so I'll have to listen to what the hell's up with that. Oregon Coast Hurricane. Let's see. Nine hours ago. It's suspected to become a major hurricane by Friday, with winds more than 110 miles an hour, and could skim the edge of the Baja coast by the weekend. Huh. Yeah, there's not going to be shit left of that by the time it gets here. Oh, wait, not true. We might get some lowland flooding here. We might get a shit ton of rain. Worst storm on the Oregon coast, Great Coastal Gale of 2007. See videos. Well, that'd certainly stop anyone from starting forest fires for a while. Oh, come on, there's supposed to be a video. Maybe this one. Alright, I'm gonna have to start my car here. I'm not gonna have any battery to do anything. Rare Pacific hurricane expected to bring rain to California and Oregon. Oh, Portland should have fun. This one says winds up to 120 miles per hour. And they got fires on the Willamette River, and they got algae on the Willamette River. It's toxic. Doesn't look like it's gonna let me see any videos of it. Well, this ain't it.
All right, turning now back to that forecast, and it's hazy out there, but it's not 100 degrees, Josh. So that's nice. A nice change.
Yes, a nice change of pace for us here after kind of the slew of record-breaking temperatures that we saw. A total of 4 days at or above 100 degrees. Right now, still warm out there as we take a live look out over downtown Portland. It looks like the wasps are enjoying our camera this afternoon as we see those high clouds continue to filter out some of the harshest of the sun's rays. That's forecast, keeping our temperatures slightly on the cooler side, just shy of 80 degrees, but likely to climb back up into the upper 80s by 2 o'clock. Clouds continue to increase as our temperatures do just about the same into the low to mid 90s this afternoon. That's a much bigger picture and change for us compared to the past several days. 108, the all-time record high for the month of August, and managing to break a record back over the past 2 days as well, as we managed to climb to 103 degrees. Now our big temperature drop is in the works. Monday, 108, but we're expecting to drop about 26 degrees with our forecasted high on Friday at 82. So 82 going to probably feel much cooler for us, but at least we can thank our cloud coverage for keeping us on the cooler side today. Beneficial moisture right now. We would like to just keep it as those light rain showers and reduce that lightning potential as we work our way into the afternoon hours. But that lightning threat does remain for much of the south central and southeastern sections of the state. That does include parts of the Cascades where fires are still burning in Lane and Lynn County. That's where the fire weather danger continues to increase as we work our way through this afternoon. You'll notice just east of the Columbia River Gorge, that's where we have the biggest threat for wildfire activity to ramp up, as gusty winds are also a cause for concern. But at least the wildfire smoke starting to push its way out of the I-5 corridor and the coastline, again, as multiple fires continue to scorch parts of Lynn County. As an upper-level low-pressure system and a surface low ushers in some slightly cooler conditions as we look up in elevation, that's where cooler temperatures are going to settle their way back into the Pacific Northwest just in time for the weekend, keeping us closer to what's normal for this time of year. But we are watching very closely the hurricane now, Hillary, with wind speeds of 105 miles per hour, taking aim at parts of California and then eventually into the Pacific Northwest. Expected to ramp up to a major hurricane Category 4 storm where we could see winds above 130 miles per hour. This could potentially be the first tropical storm to hit the state of California since about 1930s or so. But increasing our rain potential for the western half of the country, that's all good news, but too much of a good thing can quickly turn bad. You'll notice it starts to impact our temperature slightly for Monday and Tuesday, with an increase in the cloud coverage. But you'll notice a very brief warming trend just in time for the weekend, back up into the low 90s after that 82-degree temperature on Friday. Plenty of sunshine to go around. Is going to be a nice break for us after the excessive record-breaking heat that we managed to get through this week. Even today's high of 93 going to feel that much better than the 100-degree days that we've been seeing. So the 7-day forecast kind of painting a much better picture for us moving forward over the next 7 days.
For us here, it'll be about like when Hurricane Matthew hit. I was in Virginia when Hurricane Matthew hit. We got some flooding, but that was about it. We did have some pretty decent winds, I ain't gonna lie. Some of them gusts were easily up to 70 miles an hour, and there were quite a few of them that were 30 to 35 mile an hour sustained for 20 to 30 minutes at a time, with intermittent gusts that were even tougher. But I mean, the reality of it, most of the people in that area survived. It ended up being mostly flooding in that area. It wasn't the real super heavy winds or anything like that, and we did pretty all right. So that's not a worry of mine at the moment. Let's see. Oh, the lady who got her wallet, there was a guy that was there, and he saw that I made sure that young lady got her wallet back. So he came up and ran up to me and gave me $1, which was nice of him. If I had 2 of them, I'd get myself a coffee. see if I can get this thing started. It would work better if I turn my fucking key on all the way. There it goes. No, fuck. Oh, fucking seatbelt. Alright. Well, that don't sound good. Is my engine having issues? Take me to Tillamook Sporting Goods.
Okay, Tillamook Sporting Goods. Here we go. Tillamook Sporting Goods may be closed by the time you arrive. left onto 5th Street. Turn left onto 5th Street. In 600 feet, turn left onto Pacific Avenue. Turn left onto Pacific Avenue.
A lot of people don't like the quality,
Continue for 1 mile.
and they certainly don't like it when I give it. I understand why. I understand that people don't think there should be consequences for them, only for others. Folks seem to think it's alright to bully, belittle, berate, and of course destroy the lives of people they think are less human than them, I suppose. We can see right now how there's a lot of men who don't think women are people. We can see a lot of women who don't think men are people. We can see a lot of whites that don't think blacks are people. We can see a lot of blacks who don't think whites are people. Fucking insanity. Of course, I try to give an equal amount of bullshit to all of you. Give you a tiny taste of what it's really like. Sometimes through showing you, by showing you others doing it to me. Sometimes by directing in a goddamn douchebag to you. It happens. Are those choices that I make? Yes. The choice to fight to get hurt instead of killing myself. There's a lot of people who want me to kill myself. There's a lot of people who stand to gain from me never getting hurt. My education isn't just being nice to people and helping people. My education includes defending myself and my loved one from harm. I understand battlefield tactics. The thing is, I don't know a whole heck of a lot about logistics other than preventing them. I know that money makes war and logistics go easier. With neither, you're not going to get very far. Of course, Al-Qaeda and the Taliban showed us otherwise, didn't they? Of course they did. We got big fucking mouths.
Destination is on the right.
Holy shit. You guys made like a big ass barrier here.
What's your interest rate on it?
Interest rate? They might be asking about that trailer there. Or maybe they're asking if they can buy my car again. I don't know. I suppose I'd ask him the interest rate on what? Oh my God. Hey, I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just trying to go park my piece of shit before it exploded.
Explosion.
Exploded, it freaking exploded all over our face.
Yeah,
That really hurt my legs to do that, but it looked cool.
did look
Actually, I was trying to figure out who the hell yelled at me because I was not trying to be an asshole. I'm willing to bet it was that guy.
He's the town
Chase?
douchebag. Yeah, he's the town douchebag.
Alter ego stuff.
Yeah, it's just because he's fat.
Yeah, for real.
Well, then why do you call him Chase? You should call him Chug.
Dude, you're gonna be called Chug for the rest of your fucking life. Chug alone. Oh, Chug or
Seriously? Don't give him a nickname that he can beat the hell out of me for. He's twice my size.
Hey, we're all on your side, so I think you're fine.
He's all
I have a very
So?
fucking tell my social security number and everything while we're at it. My fucking debit card number, what bank I go to. Nobody wants your
Yeah, I was a virgin until I was 33. It was pretty cool. No, that's what happens when you poke it with a stick. You end up with holy shit. No doubt. Nope, I remember her name and everything. And as a gentleman, I'm not supposed to tell. Her name was Brianna Hernandez Cordona, and she was from Texas. Pretty much everybody, everywhere but Oregon, lost their virginity to somebody from Texas. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Texas then.
Right?
You think $40 is enough gas money to get to fucking San Antonio from here?
Oh, I didn't say they'd play with you in Texas. They export them.
They traffic them? It's illegal.
Well, that too. But that's not what I'm talking about. No.
I already have 5 at my house.
I got one right here.
Have you seen them fucking like African ladies that put the rings around their neck to extend them? That's what I'm saying. It's
here, dude.
Oh my God! I thought you were talking something about a farm.
Okay, hold on.
I just stole it out of his drawer. So he can't play with himself.
Hey, don't take that away from
Hey, he's not licking it.
No, I'm not.
Just make sure he gets some little wipes from the pizza place before he eats.
I feel like you're talking from experience.
A little bit. Oh my God, that thing is beautiful. That's what they look like in Nebraska.
What, brown?
Yep.
No, I wasn't thinking. I think that's Mexico you're thinking of.
No. Mud comes in all sorts of colors.
White?
Just like your mom.
Oh, she's disabled.
There are a lot of white people here. I had to try to find some white lady. Apparently her name is like Kelly White, Callie White, Kaylee White, something like that. There's
Tuna Taylor?
There is a shit ton of white people here, but none of them are the white girl I'm looking for. Yeah, apparently she knows something about autism and services around here and police corruption and domestic violence and shit. Apparently she's some sort of like magic fix-all for everything lady.
A witch?
That would be cool.
Oh.
Whoa. Later, Muddy. I don't like that word.
Cody, you jumped down your. Okay.
I'm not trying to say he's a dumbass, but he's a dumbass.
No, he's fucking retarded.
Really? Did he do that in cowboy boots or mucking boots?
Yes. No, they're fucking boots. They're fucking boots.
Well, you can do them in mucking boots. Can't
Oh,
do that
mucking
in
boots. I
cowboy
thought you said
boots.
fucking boots. He fucks his girlfriend in those boots.
I fucked it. I went.
Really? You
He
make
does the
her wear
cowboy
them?
shit.
That ain't my business. You mean like cowboy shit or like Wyoming cowboy shit?
Cody, what'd you say? Wyoming cowboy? Or
Yeah, it's
What
cowboy
cowboy
shit
South
or
Dakota
Wyoming?
cowboy shit?
South Dakota.
Are we like racist or?
Yeah. No, I'm trying to figure out which spot.
No, there ain't no gay sisters here. Too bad all you broke little bastards spent all your money on gasoline.
What? He's just fucking rich. I don't know. Oops. I don't know how that kid affords everything he does.
It's probably a farm truck. You get a tax write-off for that shit. You could have put a couple of spotlight lights right on the top of it. Just tell them it's for going and getting the cows out of the thickets at night.
He didn't work though. He started last year working. How the fuck does he have a $24,000 pickup, a fucking $15,000 Yoda?
You know, I've wondered this myself, but I ain't gonna judge him because all the shit he has is badass.
Times are tough. You know what? Prostitution is for... I'm done. I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Alright.
That was a little bit too far, and I do apologize for filterizing your sensitive ears and whatnot.
Cody likes to stick it.
Well, that's not my business.
Hey, it's the boots. I'm telling you. It is the boots.
It's not the boots.
They're clean.
All right, so I got a question for you. Over by Lillian A. Goodspeed Park, they got a whole shit ton of fucking cattle down there, right? And they look like jerseys. But somebody was telling me they're 100% jerseys, and I'm like, no, they're part Swede. There's no way they're 100% jersey.
They're all jersey.
Seriously?
It's all
At
Hogan's.
Hogan's?
100% jersey.
At Hogan's Dairy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that gas cap? Dude, how many pedestrians did you have to hit to unlock that skin? Dude, that's just so the guy at the gas station's job is easier. He doesn't have
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's on the DLC menu. You got to pay for that.
You gotta pay for that.
along with the ripped off antenna and the whole kit. Because they heard the cross like, what the fuck was that?
It was a Velociraptor. It's after your bacon. Well, his bacon. Now, why do they drive around in that stupid thing? Like, nobody can tell that it's not a cop car?
Yeah, they're kind of dumb.
How much for the can?
Yeah, I've gotten really good at.
Well, all the extra bells and whistles, extra lights, and that fucking spotlight right on the side of the... Yeah, that all
Have you got
just...
spotlighted before?
Maybe a time or two?
I don't have it.
You got sheep as well, huh?
Okay, how much is the plane?
Oh yeah. It's full.
Slow down. Yeah, I pulled my driveway.
Come on,
out of nowhere. It's hoping I was going 70. How am I going 70?
Was it Officer Marquez?
You don't like to hit me either?
You know, I'm gonna try really hard not to say nothing mean about the son of a bitch. God damn it! I didn't last long, did I?
Whoa! What? Out of context? No, I'm not going back.
Whoa. Guys, get a room.
Yeah. Sean wants to do it.
Not a chance in hell. Although that's the best way to get away from me. I can't run after you. All right. I got 3 pennies. Yeah, I was gonna try to con one of y'all into buying me dinner tonight, but I don't want you thinking it's a date.
Oh, date?
Who cares?
I do.
Really? You hard up? You lonely?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some guys up there in Boulder.
No, you don't have to say that.
Oh, you don't gotta say nothing.
Oh.
They know.
Oh. Cody, what you eat? Nigga! Oh, sorry. you hit me in the chin with it.
And thank you for apologizing at least.
What? I said. Your bro's cool.
Dude, don't choke him to death. I don't want to have to sucker punch him. And you all know the Heimlich maneuver?
Yeah, I can do it on myself. I'm used to doing things myself.
Yeah, me too. That's why I don't have any kids.
I don't think that qualifies as kids, Egger. What?
You know, when I was a kid, I got to play with Barbies and matches at the same time.
Play with blow-up dolls.
I believe you.
You probably got that from Dad.
So do you got the new ones with the little electronic voice box,
Yeah,
takes
and they
little
got the
AA
fucking-
batteries?
Those aren't blow-up. Those
Did
are
you
all
want? Did you get the one that goes?
No, I didn't get the sheet one. I didn't get the sheet one. I got the. I got the. I got
Wouldn't
the.
that be-
Always got the real good. I got the Latina Plus.
I don't believe you.
Dude, show him a picture right now. Well, I don't have a fucking picture of it, Daddy. You actually have one? You are fucking retarded, dog. Yeah, I can believe that.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, okay, whatever.
Ow. All right, Jackson, I gotta piss. Open your mouth.
Anybody got clean hands?
No.
I got warm hands though.
You got clean hands?
Yeah, and you know what I just decided? Out of everybody here who I was going to try to hit up for a hamburger or something, he's the one I don't want handling it.
Oh my God, Taylor Hart.
Makes a fuck to me.
Right?
I wasn't gonna hand
I'm just saying I seen what you was playing with. And
Why, you want some?
Hey, Cody.
how old are you?
Cody.
21.
Cody.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god, everybody under 30 looks 12 to me, I guess.
I got a mirror.
Makes a fuck to me.
Mirror. Dude, is that off your fucking Ford? Yeah, you want a tow mirror for a 69 Ford? Anybody?
It's a good year.
It is a good, yeah. Dude, that was honestly the best year.
There is probably still some free love wiped all over that mirror.
Oh, bad.
Really? That's what it's called? After I say that, you're gonna... I'm minding my business. Well, I did my best con job. Try to get one of them young'uns to buy me a burger. Unfortunately, I was afraid one of them might think it was a date.
Oh.
Yeah. Spare some cash before white trash. I promise to waste it on something for me.
Are you asking for money?
Yeah. God, you suck as bad as I do. I'm just kidding. I have $1. I only need one more to get a coffee. Actually, that's not even true. I found 3 pennies earlier. And I got a quarter and a dime in my pocket. I'm fairly certain.
Here, hold on. I might have something.
Oh God, now I'm ripping off little kids. I should stop calling you that. That's mean.
Here's 9.
Holy hell! You have any idea how many coffees that is?
Quite a few.
Yeah, it probably won't waste it all on coffee. Hey, can I spend some of this on gasoline?
Okay. I have some things too that I have petrol.
That's terrible. You're the only person here whose name I remember. He give me more money, but I like you better just because you're funnier looking.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's okay to look sophisticated.
Yeah.
Although I definitely think that we could do a remake of Joe Dirt in this parking lot with just the people who are here.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, I'm going to go over to my car. I'm going to plug in. I'm going to tell my YouTube channel that I got a bunch of little kids to pay me to go away. And then I'm going to brag about the fact that it didn't take me any candy, any white vans, or any puppies. Yeah, I got a MeTube channel too. Basically, I get on there and I talk shit about small towns and how racist they are and how white people stink. Not all white people stink. You're going to chase a fire, ain't you? You're going to chase a fire, ain't you?
Yeah. Wait, how do you know I'm a firefighter?
Adios, folks. I think I might have did this out of order. I was going to make fun of the skinny ones and the short ones tonight. I made fun of the fat ones last night. Or did I get that backwards? Fuck it. Alright, so I got enough money here to go get myself some gas, which I'm not going to do right now because it's too late for any of the gas places to be open. However, it is not too late to go get myself a cup of coffee. Oh great, now I gotta go through the gauntlet of gonads to get out of here. Lots of testosterone here. Well, there's Alexander going by on his bike in a hurry, collecting cans and trying to make ends meet. You know how it is. Sometimes it's for rent, sometimes it's for dinner, sometimes it's for coffee, sometimes it's for putting some gas in your fucking car so you can go to Portland and go find some girl before a fucking hurricane maybe hits. I figured 2 people out there looking is better than 1. If you keep in contact with your mom, she might not freak out and do shit like that. And if she doesn't freak out and do shit like that, then I don't get to see any of them posters, and then I don't freak out and do shit like that. The youngins built themselves a fire over there, but thank goodness they put it out. Not the most intelligent thing they could have done. Anyway, one of the things that, not sure if you pay attention to my channel or not, I've been to a lot of places and talked a lot of trash. And no, I don't go lighting forest fires. I don't go lighting places on fire. I don't go exploding things. See, well, those suggestions that you guys make are all fine and dandy in your heads. You kind of sort of start thinking about the reality of the situation once I start bringing it up. Once I start screaming about it. Now, why is screaming about it so important? Because screaming about it gets you afraid and it gets you started thinking. How's it going to affect my family if someone does that? And you need to think about that every day. If you're going to be fucking fear-mongering people about the homeless to the point that they're harming the homeless like that, then you need to make sure that you fear-monger the possibilities of doing so. People who don't have a large group that's going to help them out. People that don't have access to a radio and lots of tax dollars to do what they please with. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to have to drive past a lot of testosterone to get where I'm going. But I'm going to the corner market, or center market, sorry. They has coffee. The feller who works there at night is real gentlemanly. We've gotten to see or hear from a couple of these youngins tonight. They still use the N-word, but at least they're apologetic about it. What's worse about the N-word, these youngins in this here parking lot or Chapel, Nebraska? Chapel, Nebraska. Where am I more likely to hear those curse words? Here. Because I'm here? Well, that's part of it. But also in part because in Chapel, Nebraska, all them racists got tired of hearing every single time that they use the N-word, me saying, I don't like that word. Tonight, one of these youngins slipped out that word, and he apologized immediately, put his hand over his mouth. Of course, the fat-ass little fucker that we had in Chapel, Nebraska threw that shit around was Chance Dale. Was Chance Dale racist? No. He was just an asshole. He was also a pretty damn good friend. He would have fucked the motherfucker up for talking shit on me. Alright, let's see. Take me to Center Market.
Sure, Center Market.
Oh shit. Now I got two clusters of youngins. One cluster behind me and one cluster in front of me. Maybe they'll rev up their vehicles and create a symphony or something. Or maybe they'll test out their horns and figure out which ones got the highest, which one's got the lowest. Maybe we'll get to hear some Johann Sebastian Bach. Or some Ludwig van Beethoven. Man, I wish I had some teeth. It'd make it easier to speak. Anyway, I panhandled up my dinner money for tonight. I'm going to put some of it in for gas with the intention of going to Portland and grabbing some of my shit in the mountains on the way back. It'd probably take me 2 to 3 days to get everything transferred from camp into my car that I'm going to be able to take for just one trip. That's if I'm lucky. But I figure the least I can do is go canvas Portland again. Show pictures of David and Katie Saltzman. And then, of course, Janessa Ray Funkhauser. Oh, hell, I should have asked them youngins about that. Matter of fact, I might go do that now. The ones that are little, most of them are not allowed out this late. So this is the older crowd. They just all look like little fucking kids. Yeah, I get that 22 is not a little kid. I get that 26 is not a little kid. But fuck, they all look like they're little kids to me. You know, that doesn't mean that they're bad people. I just want to say that. All right, just because they look young to me doesn't mean that I'm insinuating that they're. We were all young once, and every one of us fucked up, guaranteed. We all had parents that fucked up at some point or another, guaranteed. Anyway, let's see if I'm smart enough to start up my vehicle. It does not appear as if I was intelligent enough to. Oh, I found my button. Alright. Let's see if we get this shit started. Ugh. Oh, fucking Farvignugan. I parked almost as badly as you guys, except I'm not crooked.
What's dragging underneath your car? Is that your muffler?
My balls.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't have those anymore. Gave them up in the divorce.
Oh, yeah.
There's half a muffler under there.
Oh, just half of one?
Yeah.
What happened to the other half?
I dragged it, and then this guy Dallas Palmer, he lifted it up so that it would work for temporarily, but then I had to go up to the mountains, and when I backed up, my pipe got stuck in the dirt, bent it over, and I had to drag it into town, so he was going to try it again, and I haven't seen him since.
Shit. I haven't seen that thing in a while either.
Hey, you know a lady named Janessa Ray Funkhauser?
Funkhauser?
Funkhauser.
Oh, no. Never heard of him. I know a Funkhauser. No, I don't know. Why?
Her mom's from here, and I guess she's from here, and she's missing in Portland. Last time she was seen or contacted was like 2 weeks ago in Burnside. So I was thinking about trying to get up some gas money and go up there with a person or two that might even know her and canvass the area. I mean, speaking up on my YouTube doesn't really do much because I'm not well liked.
Yeah.
Mostly I just tell people to suck my balls because they're fucking ball suckers.
Yeah.
I'm not real impressed with humanity.
Yeah.
But I figure as long as her mom gives a shit enough to try to find her, gives a shit enough to go around Portland canvassing the place and putting up flyers, it means somebody gives a holy fuck about her. Whereas the homeless people there, she's going to get lost in that shit. And the cops don't give two holy fucks there any more than they give here. Hell, the cops here care more than the ones in Portland.
Yeah. Huh?
How wide are those?
Do you mean 13 and a half on her scale or like actually 13 and a half? I said, do you mean 13 and a half on her scale or do you mean actually 13 and a half?
I was talking about my tires and wheels.
I know you were. But I didn't ask for your scale. If I'd asked for your scale, 13 inches would be like that.
Well, therefore, my cost about 55.
You let him talk?
Yeah.
You were so nice.
I was 21. Remember, I'm older than you.
Gross.
Hey, your car's pissing. Oh. How's that P. Diddy song again? If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, and you can't shoot pool with a fucking rope. All right. I probably should have asked that youngin' who gave me the $9 what his name was. I've been given his name before. I don't want to assume that it's Cole because I'm not for certain. Cole might have been that Slavic looking feller. Coleslaw Victory.
Head west on Wilson River Loop toward North Main Street, then turn left onto North Main Street. Turn left onto North Main Street.
before you get good cops, you really got to get rid of the douchebags. When these services are supposed to do a job, when they're supposed to protect, do they? Do they work together with social services the way they're supposed to, or do they tell you to go to social services by yourself? Social services talk to the police with you like they're supposed to, or do they make you go to the police by yourself? Seems to me the only time social services ever send somebody out is when you tell them you'll let them be in control of your money. Developmental Disability Program. Call us to apply for service. TFCC.org it says. I've been to TFCC. They don't do anything to actually help people unless you're already in housing. Other than that, you get therapy. And on top of therapy, you get some more fucking therapy. Yes, there are a few women who have spoken on my channel about the services that they get there. We also know that those women are in housing. With that $9 that that youngin gave me, and that dollar I got from telling that girl she left her wallet there earlier, that's 10 whole dollars. I panhandled for a while today. I didn't make a single penny. So, yep, I guess I'm glad I've done some sort of service today. Fuck, they're driving like they're from... Shit, they are from Arkansas. Woohoo! I don't know why that's so goddamn entertaining. Let me make sure. Yeah, it does say Arkansas. It's just nuts. I just want to let you know that's not like a superpower or anything like that. I can't like call out where everybody's from. Just the way he was driving slow and back and forth like he was drunk on a farm road. It's not just Kansas, it's our Kansas. Ugh. Wow, I'm really thinking this guy from Arkansas is... He might not be blitzed. He might have just forgotten how to drive temporarily, or speed limit is. We're not going above 15 miles. You might think that we're in a residential area in a small town. In a lot of residential small town areas, you get the 15 mile per hour. But that's not what we're encountering here.
Your destination is on the right.
I'm not sure if I bragged to you before, but the folks who work here are always pretty nice to me. I do look like a hobo. The first few times I came in here, I did kind of get the feeling that they're used to people that look dirty coming in and stealing their shit. But I may be a dirty kid, but I ain't that dirty kid. And technically, I never fell into the category of a dirty kid. I was too old my first time out, you know? Alright, now who was I blaming tonight? Let's see, we had a whole bunch of man haters on today, so I should probably try blaming women. But there was a lot of woman haters on today that were just talking all sorts of nonsense. I'll probably talk trash on both tonight. I think it'll take about $25 to get from here to Portland, so maybe I'll start panhandling up tomorrow. See what I can come up with. I got 10 in my pocket. I'm about to spend 2 of it to get coffee, so that'll mean I need to come up with another 17, I suppose. Alright, how rich am I? Well, I'm glad I hit them young'uns up. I got over $1 in quarters, too. The one young'un that kept on making all the inappropriate comments and the stuff about the cock ring and all of that stuff, he's just trying to get people to like him. He's not... Well, he'll probably make jokes and be a dick if he thinks it'll make him popular. It won't. But a lot of people, they see how the popular bullies, the popular people, get to bully whoever they want, mostly. So to a lot of people, they equate bullying to popularity. If you bully people, they'll like you. I don't bully people to get them to like me. I bully people to get them to pay the fuck attention to this shit. Tired of the bodies popping up. Tired of the corpses. Tired of the fentanyl overdoses. Christine Bouhid overdosed on fentanyl. Don't worry, I wasn't going to run you over. I didn't bring my stroller with me. Anyway, like I was saying earlier, I've been from one end of the country to the other. Everybody in every town thinks that the drugs are exceptionally bad in their town. I'm trying to explain to you that no, it's exceptionally bad nationwide. I don't mess around with the drugs, but the thing is, as a homeless liaison in Boulder, Colorado, like I got to see a lot of people die. I got to see a few people brought back. I got to see people who shouldn't have ended up dead, shouldn't have been ignored, should have been paid attention to. But we don't get what we want, do we? Well, if we work together, then we do. And that's the thing about democracy. That's the thing about getting out there and voting, sure, but also getting out there and taking an active role in the change that you want to see. If all you're ever going to do is complain that the government's not doing enough, but you're not willing to do anything yourself, what do you expect the government to do? You're going to say the cops aren't doing enough without people shooting folks in the ghetto, but you ain't going to get off the couch and make the call to the cops. You don't want somebody retaliating against you. So you complain about that. And again, here's the thing. Hiding doesn't change anything. You can say as many times as you want, I'm not perfect. All I can do is teach my kids to be better than I am. And you can't. You cannot teach your kids to be better than you are. If you say one thing and you do another, that's what you teach your kids. That's what your kids are going to learn. If you tell them something and you do something different, you're teaching your kids to be full of it. Now, for me, I understand that as a male and in that line of service, and I can't say work. It is a lot of work, but I never got paid for it. It is absolutely a public service. Sage Wayward Rages and Mr. Ogre were both instrumental, especially my first year in Boulder, Colorado, with walking alcoholics to the women's center so they wouldn't freeze to death. Passing out blankets so people wouldn't freeze to death. Taking them to the homeless shelter so they won't freeze to death. Now, Ogre, his real name is Christopher Weaver. And after 6 years of literally ignoring me and treating me like trash, he decided to get a hold of me a couple of months ago. I was not nice to him. A lot of people ended up dead because nobody came forward about these situations. There's a lot of people that wanted to blame the cops 100%. There's a lot of people who wanted to blame the bonders 100%. There's people who wanted to blame me 100%. Or my friends and family 100%. But the reality is, that's the life out here. When I say that somebody knows the life, Natalie knew the life. Well enough from her understanding. No, she was never homeless, but she knew the drug life. She knew the risks. She knew the people that she was hanging out with, and she absolutely knew how dangerous her father is. Everywhere I go, I try to make things a little bit better, but I also, you get to see how I'm hobbled by people's excuses. It's not fun having cops spread rumors about you. It's not fun having to ask drug addicts for help because the cops don't want to do their jobs. And the hospitals don't want to do their jobs. Social services doesn't want to do their jobs. And there's a lot of kind-hearted people there's two different Lori's we spoke this day, isn't there? One of them, the lady that works at the library, she's real nice. Experience of people who've been damaged. The other Lori, she's not on drugs, but she talks 100 miles a minute, and she's got trauma of her own. So, for me, asking her for help just seems like a mean thing to do.
You got hot sauce?
Yeah.
Let me do 2 more. 3 more.
Okay, sir.
Please. Come over. 17.
Well, you're good to see you again. Here you go. Thanks, sir. Penny. It's not just what you say, it's also how you say it, right? Give you an example. I am the god of war, right? I am the god of war. Ah, fresh meat. I like cookies and rainbows and unicorns. Little sprinkles. Or, I am the god of war. Use all sorts of different voices. Rawr, rawr. Also depends on the language. You ever heard someone say I love you in German? It's fucking terrifying. And I keep hearing about, well, just racist bullshit around town about the people here at the center market. And it's just racist bullshit. I don't think most of the people here in this town have ever heard of the Mughal Empire. I don't think most of them know what a Sikh is. If you started talking to them about the Martha Confederacy, they'd think you were talking about Martha Washington. The Sikh religion is actually based on a lineage of kings and their teachings. The original 13 Sikhs. The final one said that, well, there would be no more human Sikh princes or kings. That the books they're writing as their teachings, that would be the Sikhs from here on in. So the Sikh Empire lasted a grand total of 13 generations, basically. And that's not true, because the religion itself is alive today. It came forth to our present day and age. Every time I come in here, the folks who are here, they may not smile every single time. Just like at McDonald's, they may not make smile every time. It's McDonald's, right? But I don't go into McDonald's for smiles. I go into McDonald's for a cheap hamburger. I didn't realize how far we were away from the weekend. Otherwise, I wouldn't have decided I was going to try not to post until I'd left that stuff up for a few days. It's likely I'll be too busy this weekend to post for a couple of days, unless I can get my service to work in Portland this time, which it wasn't gonna last time. I got at Tillamook National Forest, hoping to have a good 2 to 3 bars, maybe even 4 bars. Nothing. I was like, well, Portland's a media blackout. Of course, I did sort of go around Portland, but I was definitely within sight and sound and fucking smell for certain. I know the internet works in Morrington sometimes. I also know between all the goddamn rednecks, all this BLM bullshit, and the Me Too movement, America is, well, what do they call that? A Mexican standoff? Everybody pointing fingers at each other. Well, people are getting killed, so innocent people are getting killed. So it's not just pointing fingers at each other. You might as well be pointing guns at each other because it's getting people killed. blaming innocent people just because you're embarrassed. You don't want to get in trouble. One girl I knew growing up, I was in special ed and she wasn't. And before you ask, no, I wasn't the boy in this story. One of the boys in special ed had a really big crush on her. And there was one of them parties, not the, the ones where you go drinking with all your buddies, but the ones where you're a little younger than that. And you have one of the kids that sneaks over his parents' schnapps. Anyway, this boy that was in special ed was running around saying that he had sex with her. She wasn't a virgin anymore, and so on and so forth. Now, at first, he just told one of the popular boys. Now, the reality is that he got fucked up on schnapps, and he was puking on himself, and she took care of him. They had a conversation. They were talking until fucking the wee hours of the morning, mostly because she was trying to make sure that he wasn't going to fucking die. I mean, we were all pretty young, probably about 12, 13. Maybe the oldest kid there was 14. Anyway, I found out later that she killed herself over the rumors that were started. He didn't just go tell one of his buddies. No, that wasn't good enough. One of these popular kids that he told that he wanted to be friends with, and that popular kid went spreading the rumor through school that she was easy. And of course, she was pretty and she was popular. She was well liked and she was nice. She wasn't in special ed. She was one of the mainstream girls. And she happened to be, I don't know if they were neighbors or lived in the same neighborhood or what, but basically her family knew his family. They knew who each other were. And, it wasn't one of those things where if she hadn't taken the time to take care of him all night, people wouldn't have thought that she gave a shit about him at all. I mean, why would anybody think she gave a shit about him at all? He was in special ed. She was in mainstream. It's not like they hung out at school. Anyway, she ended up killing herself because of the rumors. Because, it wasn't the rumors that were started. It's the fact that once the rumors were started, that kid that was in special ed didn't want to lay off on it. Instead of him just telling that one little lie just because he wanted to be popular for a moment, realizing that he'd fucked up and at least admitting that he'd fucked up, that she didn't have sex with him, that it wasn't nothing like that. No, he wanted to call her out publicly because he was embarrassed. He wanted people to think that they had sex. And then once he realized that, basically she was calling him a liar, he didn't think that it was going to go past, that one kid that he wanted to be popular with, but he was wrong. And when it went past that, when it got out of control, when it turned into a whole bunch of just straight up bullshit, he wanted to be an asshole publicly. And she called him out publicly. She was like, hey, dude, we didn't have sex, okay? We didn't have sex. Why don't you tell people that we didn't have sex? And she wasn't going out and spilling all the beans about how she'd basically taken care of his dumbass because he was fucking puking on himself and stupid shit like that. Basically, she was the only friend that he really had outside of school. But he wanted to be popular in school for a few minutes at least. He had sex with one of the pretty girls, and he didn't. He didn't. And now, by the time she killed herself, do I know if this is actually a true story or not? Did she actually kill herself? I have no fucking clue. I was out of that school so fucking quick. If she did kill herself, if that was more than just a rumor, I wasn't there. I knew a couple of kids that went to that school that I still stayed in contact with for like a year or two after that. By the time I moved to Nebraska, though, I probably couldn't have even remembered those kids' names. Now, a lot of girls, they think of stuff like that is the most horrible thing that can happen. It's not. It's really not. If you think it's bad to be treated like you're a slut, all boys are treated like that. All boys are told that we only have one thing on our minds. We have one-track minds, and there's only one thing we think about, and it's one part of a female anatomy, and so on and so on. That we're all perverts, and so on and so on and so on. You know, it's worse than spreading rumors that you had sex with one of the pretty girls when you're in special ed. Falsely accusing somebody of rape. You know what's worse than that? A pedophile. You know what's worse than that? Someone who helps a pedophile to get away. Because when you help a pedophile to get away, you make it so that he gets to go from destroying one life to destroying many. Not only that, each and every one of his victims, or her victims, have to fear retaliation. They have to fear running into those people at the grocery store. If they live in the same town. They have to fear that even if they change their name and move somewhere else, some people are just fucking psycho. They don't like being told on. There's some people that say stuff because they're on drugs and they don't want everybody to know. I understand why Natalie Bollinger was embarrassed. You know, the last thing I wanted to do was go posting all of her personal business out on the air, you know? But Maddie Bowe just didn't want to come off it. Natalie Bollinger didn't go trying to pretend I did a bunch of horrible shit to her. Maddie Bowe had a crush on Natalie Bollinger, and that's all there is to say about that. When she's got her mind set that she wants something, well, what do we teach people? It's all fair in love and war. Anybody who's read the messages between Natalie and I knows she thought she was in love with me. It didn't need to be like that. You know, there's a few people that let me know that Natalie thought she was in love with me for a long time. Natalie was one of them. She didn't tell me that she thought she was in love with me way back in the day, though. Nope, she didn't tell me any of that until she was a grown-ass adult. Because before that, I was busy trying to run her off because she was underage. She wasn't old enough to hang out with us. Her hanging out even as an adult, she was so fucking tiny, people were just going to assume she was 12. But the thing is, I'm a dumbass, and she was suicidal, and her family fucking sucked, and she was able to play on that to manipulate me. She got what she fucking wanted. She was suicidal, and she wanted me to go to Virginia because she was suicidal. So I went to Virginia because she was suicidal. I tried to do what you're supposed to do when you're autistic. You're supposed to plan it out ahead of time, and you're supposed to have a contingency plan set up ahead of time just in case something happens. But her trying to wrap her goddamn car around a telephone pole to kill herself right after calling me. Holy shit, that fucked my head up, you know? Then all of my support network that I had there, all the people that had been begging me to come see him for forever and a fucking day, like Brett Roloff. Brett was in jail. There was a guy I was going to work for. He was in jail. And they did flood cleanup and removal. Of course, that would have been the perfect time, huh? If that dude hadn't beaten the fuck out of his wife and gone to jail, he could have gotten a shit ton of money cleaning up Hurricane Matthew. Life happens. Anyway, there are a lot of nice people here. I wish there was more good people, but you also get to notice that when times are good, it's easy to be good to people. When times are rough, it's not so easy. It's not so easy to hook somebody up with a meal when you're hungry too. It's not so easy to hook somebody up with medicine when your kids are sick too. It's also not so easy to give up the last shot of vodka when you need to get well too. I didn't grow up under a fucking rock. It's assumed that because I'm a white kid that I lived in a rich family, 2-car garage, 2 vehicles in the garage at all points in time, both parents making over $100,000 apiece, and so on and so on and so on. And of course, my parents must have owned slaves or some shit because of my skin color, and so on and so on and so on. This video is about 2 hours long now. I was going to ask them youngins what they meant about financing earlier when I first pulled up, and I'm fairly certain that's what they said, but I wasn't sure exactly what they said. When I was naming off all the white people that I had to fucking look up, apparently a couple of those names are people that they know, which there's one of them I'm pretty sure that they know. I think it's the same girl, but I don't know for sure. One person was telling me she's like 23 and she hangs out there only when her sister hangs out there, and he wasn't for sure because he wasn't sure if it was the same girl. I'm like, I'm not asking about the little kids, you know, the wee little ones. I'm asking about somebody who's been an adult for a while. Like she would have been an adult in 2018. Like she would have been, you know, actively involved in the community in 2018. Not like, oh, I just graduated high school in 2018 or something like that, you know. I got a lot of anxiety. getting a little bit of coffee in me. It's starting to calm me down a little bit. The most fucked up thing that any of these small towns can do is pawn me off on another small town. Hood River fucked up by pawning me off on the Dalles. The Dalles fucked up by pawning me off on Hood River. Both of them fucked up by pawning me off on Portland. No matter what, they're pawning me off on somebody when they decide they're going to run me out of town for being honest. The cops are going out of their way to grossly reinterpret stuff in a manner which excuses inhumane behavior towards human beings. There's a lot of situations that probably would have gotten out of hand if I had not been recording it. And there is likely more than one scenario that ended up more fucked up because I had to record it. But I keep my eyes on the prize, and the goal's always the same. I may not get there with you. Matter of fact, I won't. But we got to keep our eyes on the prize, and we got to look at the eradication of the term mentally ill. We need to help people out with their diagnoses, and it is never okay to try to infer that somebody is a schizophrenic or a lunatic. When people do that to me, I do it back to them. If someone is schizophrenic, that is an actual diagnosis. They will be diagnosed as schizophrenic. It is never okay for a police officer who you're trying to turn in. First of all, it's not okay for people to turn you to that officer. If you were assaulted by Officer Waylon Lolatai, it is not okay for any agency, even the Border Police Department, for which he was a part at the time. Even in that scenario, it is not okay to send you to Waylon Lolatai, to turn in Waylon Lolatai. If other members of the department have taken part in it, and you have attempted to go up the chain of command and been denied, it doesn't matter. They can just call you mentally ill and pretend none of it happened. Even your own public pretender isn't going to try getting any evidence. They're going to try to push for a mental eval. And they do that shit over and over again. It's just to eat up time until the statute of limitations, or what's called discovery, is over. If your public pretender doesn't try to get that discovery in the first 30 days, for a lot of it, you're never going to be allowed to use that in court. All because your public pretender is a lazy goddamn piece of shit. Well, the public defenders in Multnomah County got sick and tired of raping homeless people, so they all quit. Well done, assholes. We got mental health specialists that are taught a certain way in college, and then they get into the job market and they realize that everything that they were taught in college, well, the federal government has roadblocks in place, so they have to ignore everything that they've been taught. It's horse shit. Bunch of goddamn horse shit. Alright, my back is hurting like a sumbitch. I got a goal for this weekend. I want to get up to Portland. I want to spend a few hours, if not a couple of days, canvassing neighborhoods. I want to try to find David and Katie Saltzman. That is super important. I want to know they're not dead. Then there's Janessa Ray Funkhauser. If her mom's posting up missing persons posters, and I got people missing in Portland anyway, might as well make a day of it, right? I'm tired of people on the streets going missing, and the goddamn cops aren't going to do anything about it. They just talk over us. What they're supposed to do is allow us an interview room so we can sit down and do what we need to do in peace and fucking quiet. They know goddamn well that sending us back out onto the fucking streets without allowing us that. They know that they're allowing serial killers, rapists, child molesters, and other assorted predators in getting away. Because, simply put, the American people hate the homeless more than they hate child molesters, more than they hate rapists, more than they hate the KKK, more than they hate BLM. Americans hate homeless people more than they hate Jews, more than they hate Muslims, more than they hate Christians. America's a hateful nation. We got a lot of people who had no protections growing up. And as an adult, they join every witch hunt. Every time somebody is accused of doing something wrong that's a male, they assume his guilt and start hunting him on the internet, slandering his name on the internet, twisting his words on the internet. There's a lot of man-hating bitches in this world. Anyway, for people in this town to accuse the folks who work at Center Market of being Muslims and rapists and any other thing they want to assign is just wrong. The more I hear that shit, the more I get on and rail against their religion. They claim to be Christians. Jesus wasn't racist.